Congratulations, Dodge Viper fans, you are officially now the craziest, most enthusiastic group of car people in the world. This is the first time I've ever seen people organize to crowdfund a record attempt for any car at any track. And not only did somebody came up with this crazy idea to start a fundraiser, it actually worked. It actually spread throughout the social media, and they actually reached the goal and exceeded it. Last time I checked, I think they raised over 165. I think by now it's probably over 170k US dollars, and that money will go towards the expenses of transporting 2 Vipers to the Nürburgring, to the track rent, and all these organizing expenses. And there will be volunteers, volunteer drivers, volunteer engineers that will carry out this crazy epic operation of like the last homage to the Viper before it's gone. Because if you haven't followed the car news as closely as some of us do, then you might know that this year is the last production year of Dodge Viper. After 2017 there will be no new Vipers built. I think the production has already stopped, or at least all the cars for 2017 are already sold. So this record attempt is like a poetic way of saying goodbye to the V10 Viper. And this car, I have no idea why they decided to discontinue it, because in 2017, when there's just insane prosperity throughout the world, and just people have so much money that it's not even healthy. People are spending on crazy shit, Today, one Bitcoin that used to cost nothing, people are willing to pay 3,000 euros to buy one Bitcoin. And all kinds of insane special edition cars, and some of them not even so unique or interesting, people are willing to pay lots of money, not to even mention classic car scene. And then there's this iconic, unique, beautiful, I would say, American supercar, Dodge Viper, with this massive truck-sized engine, and they decided to discontinue it. Why? I suppose the only explanation could be that the sales were not as great as they expected, but that doesn't make any sense. I can't imagine. How would people not buy? I don't know, maybe the price was not right, or the competition was tougher than expected, but this is the sort of car that should always be there. It's like Porsche 911. There are these iconic shapes of cars that are absolutely unique and irreplaceable, like the shape of 911, the shape of Lamborghini Countach, and also the shape of the Viper with this insanely long bonnet, and this tiny short little boot, and when this canopy or the roof is so far back, and it's beautiful, and this insanely large engine cover. There's no car like this, and there is such a big appetite for expensive, not even expensive, for fast, cool, sexy cars. And when there's this appetite and there is money, why would you stop making it? And as many have already expressed, I think this cessation of production, I think it's not going. The Viper is not going to be gone for long. I think there will be new Viper. It just depends how long do we have to wait. Like for the Honda NSX, we had to wait, I think, over 10 years, over a decade for it to come back, and it didn't. Unfortunately, didn't come back as pure, as simple, and as much alike as the original NSX. But we still got the NSX nameplate back. But for Viper, I believe it will be. If the economic situation, if there's no economic crisis and nothing horrible happens in the world of economics, and the lust for spending is as high as it's now, and money goes around in large sums, and inflation is as high as it's now, I think the Viper will be back before long. Do I think they can beat Lamborghini Performante? Yes, they can. I think they can. The car has what it takes. It's almost a GT3. It's easily as aerodynamically proficient as a GT4 car. I think it's even more so. The front splitter, the rear wing, massive rear wing. The aero package is impressive. Also, power is there. This is not second generation Viper with 500 horsepower. This has like Lamborghini Aventador almost level of power, 650 horsepower. So it will not be down on power compared to Performante. It will, I suppose it will be light. It is lighter. It doesn't have this four-wheel drive, which actually can be handy at the Nürburgring, especially if you want to survive and not die and crash. But Nürburgring is not just slow corner exits. It's actually, the average speed is not that low, so there will be places where lighter two-wheel drive setup is more than advantageous compared to the Performante. Although we haven't seen many good, fast Nürburgring lap times with rear-wheel drive in recent memory. Porsche 919 four-wheel drive, Performante four-wheel drive, Aventador Super Veloce four-wheel drive. There's a pattern. But and of course, Koenigsegg did try at Nürburgring, and famously a rear-wheel drive car, and the Agera, and they, what happened. They crashed miserably, failed spectacularly. But let's see. I think the car has it in it. It depends on how serious the driver wants it, how much the driver is willing to risk, how far on the edge of the grip of the tires the driver is willing to go, how much to risk. This is not a joke, this is not a game. These Nürburgring lap times now are scary fast. They are like, you would expect times like this from, I don't even think like a Le Mans car from 1960s or 70s would be able to match these times that some of these production cars can do. And speeds are lethal. So this is not a game. This is not a game. This is serious. And the drivers that set these lap times are very brave, and they need more respect. So it depends on the driver. since they are mentioning track rent, I suppose they will be renting the track at some economical time slot when it doesn't cost $1,000,000 to rent it, but there is no traffic still, and the traffic is a huge problem. If you want to go for the absolute Nürburgring lap time record, you cannot catch some VW Golf in the middle of a slow corner. So depends. I think it has what it takes, theoretically speaking, to beat the Performante, but you could argue that the Performante lap time is actually not the actual road car record, because there's another car. There's this McLaren P1 LM, but there's of course the question mark of, is it really a production car? Is it really like a legit car, or is it a modified car? Because the McLaren P1 LM is not an actual model that McLaren makes. There's another company that is building the LM version, or converting I believe it's the P1 GTR into the P1 LM spec. And but the McLaren and this other company, they are working very closely, and they are the same group that built the original LM, McLaren F1 LM, that won Le Mans, and we already have it on Fast Lap. So not ignoring the P1 LM and not ignoring the F1 LM doesn't really, there's not the same kind of logic in this. So I believe we have to respect the P1 LM lap record as legitimate. So this Viper, can it beat the P1 LM? No, I don't think so. They can beat Performante if the stars align, and I don't think they will be able to beat the P1 LM, and I'm not sure what will be the reaction of the donors, because there are like 300 or hundreds of people that donated on average $500 towards this mission. So if they fail, it will be very ugly. They have this extra responsibility. In a way, it's cool that something like this is crowdfunded, but on the other hand, there's this extra weight of responsibility to deliver to all these hundreds of people that not just support their efforts, but support their efforts with money, with actual contribution. So to satisfy these hopes and this hype and expectations, it's not going to be easy, but I really do hope they succeed. And it's just funny as hell that you could donate for a family that has a sick child, or you could donate for AIDS research or malaria research, anti-malaria efforts or something like that. But why bother with that when you can donate for something real, like your favorite car beating the Nürburgring lap time?